Okay team, today's mission is to create a beautiful, balanced blonde while simultaneously leaving the hair feeling better than before we began. Are you up for the challenge? Then join me for Mission Blonde Possible. Here's a look at the target. We will be working with level 6 hair, approximately 10% gray in the back panels, working towards 50% at the hairline. Now for the mission details. In these back panels, we're looking to brighten and cool to create a much more balanced blonde. As we work into the front panels, it's key to blend the gray and add some soft dimension. This will give us a natural end result. It's imperative that we proceed with caution. We are working with fine, fragile hair and must protect our canvas. Before we get into the placement for this mission, let's go ahead and review the not-so-secret agents joining our team. Formula 1 will be our base color using Color XG. We have 20 grams of 9NN and 10 grams of 8PA. I'm using a 30 volume developer here for a little bit of extra boost of lift, and we are including Bond RX. This is really going to help protect the bonds of the hair as we color. Then Formula 2 will be our Lowlight. This is Color XG, 15 grams of 8NB and 15 grams of 9N. We're using 20 volume developer for deposit. This is really just going to be a very soft low light, adding some natural warmth to the ends, and again going through with Bond RX. Formula 3 is our highlight. I'm choosing SynchroLift Soft for this job because it is the perfect lightener when you're looking to add brightness while still babying strands. I'm using 20 volume developer because even though I'm adding Bond RX, we do not need to change the formula and we'll still get great lift. This is a great section to be able to see the comparison between the back, where there is more naturally occurring pigment, and moving into the front where we start to have more gray. Those naturally darker sections will lift warmer because of the underlying dominant pigment and also not be as light because of the starting canvas. So I'm going through with the base color and then adding in these sections of SynchroLift Soft where I see fit. So you might see more weaves towards the back of that section and less as we go forward. This is the opposite of the way that we usually tend to create blondes, using more highlights towards the front and less in the back. But here I need to balance out that canvas. In the front, it's already going to appear lighter just because of her gray. And here in the back, I really need to get extra brightness and extra lift, especially when we're looking for a more natural tone without so much warmth. Here in the back two panels, the red foils represent the SynchroLift Soft and the silver foils represent our Lowlight formula with Color XG. Now, I'll be honest, once I got to the front panels, that was sort of a mission fail. I forgot to flip the foils, but it really shouldn't matter because it's not about a pattern here. It's really about the placement according to your guest's hair. You'll add a highlight where you need to see more brightness and lift, and you'll add a low light if there's an area that you see has faded or you need more dimension. Now moving into the front two quadrants of the hair, you'll see in this first section, this again is determined by each guest hair. Each section is going to be different. So this first section, I'm weaving out spots in the back where I'm seeing more warmth and more depth, but I'm leaving out that front hairline. The hair is already fairly gray there, so this color that we're using as her base color will blend beautifully. I just need a bit more brightness and lift from these highlights in the back of this section. Every single section will alter, it just really depends on what you're seeing. It's also important to note that I don't go from scalp to ends with these highlights. SynchroLift Soft is a beautiful, gentle lightener, but there is no need for me to relighten these ends. They're already light and bright. If I need to, I can always add SynchroLift Soft to those ends for the last couple minutes as I'm pulling out the foils. I don't think I will need to, but sometimes you can do that just to even out porosity and pH when you're applying toner. As I go through, I add the Lowlight formula to areas that I think have faded out and need a little bit of extra dimension. After processing and cleansing the hair, I'm going through with the Demi 9BV on damp hair for 10 minutes, and then of course we are sealing the deal with step 2 of Bond RX. Here you can see the gorgeous end result. I would say this is mission accomplished. We have a beautiful blended blonde, a very natural dimension, and hair that looks and feels incredible. Okay, everyone, mission debriefing. So all silliness aside, I really do hope that you found this little video very helpful. I use this technique in the salon a lot. I think it's important to really take a look at the canvas you're starting on and figure out the best way to create the blonde for that client. And I do think that this is really salon reality. I know that I have a lot of guests that come in that are maybe a little bit deeper in the back and lighter and more gray towards the front. So hopefully this helps you when you have those guests coming in. I do just want to make a note for those of you that are maybe going to try this technique on some someone that has a higher percentage of gray. As you'll notice, I did not use any Cover Smart in my formulations for the base color, simply because this guest does have a fairly low percentage of gray even in the front, but in all honesty, I do like that little bit of luminosity that this formula creates. I like the dimensional look that this formula has. It is fully complete coverage, but it does have a little bit more of that sheen, that texture to it. But if you have a guest that you're working on that does have a higher percentage of gray, maybe you'll want to utilize some of the Cover Smart tones. So I know that here on the Paul Mitchell Pro channel, there are a ton of great videos showing you Cover Smart if you haven't worked with it before. So check out those videos if you're looking for more details on using Cover Smart. I know that this is a technique that you'll really be able to utilize in the salon. Hopefully this gets you thinking about detailing your placement of color for each guest. I'm Kelly Rettenberger. Do not forget to subscribe here to the Paul Mitchell Pro channel for more great content, and I will see you really soon.